In this lecture, we are going to discuss about relationship between torque and power factor in the case of three-phase induction motor, starting torque in three-phase induction motor, condition for maximum starting torque, and the effect of change in supply voltage on starting torque. Okay. So first, we'll discuss the relation between torque and power factor in three-phase induction motor. So already we know that in the case of a DC motor, torque is given by phi into Ia, where phi is the flux, armature flux per pole, and Ia is the armature current. Similarly, in the case of an induction motor, torque is proportional to the product of flux per stator pole and the rotor current. Okay. So in addition to this, we have to take into account the power factor also, since the induction motor is a AC motor. Okay. So the torque is equal to phi into I2 into cos phi 2. So here phi is the flux per stator pole, I2 is the rotor current at standstill condition, and phi 2 is the angle between the rotor EMF and the rotor current. So now let E2 be the rotor EMF at standstill condition. Okay. So then we can write E2 is proportional to phi. Phi is the flux per stator pole. So why? Because whenever a three-phase AC supply is given to the stator, a rotating magnetic field will be produced around the stator. Okay. So when the rotor is at standstill condition, there will be a relative motion between the rotor conductors and the stator magnetic field. So as a result, EMF will be induced in the rotor. So this EMF is defined as E2, EMF induced in the rotor at standstill condition. Okay, this is proportional to flux. Okay. So now the torque can be written as E2 I2 cos phi 2. So in place of phi, we have written E2. So E2 I2 into cos phi 2. So this can be written as torque is equal to K into E2 I2 cos phi 2, where K is a constant. Okay. So as phi 2 increases, phi 2 is the angle between E2 and I2. So as phi 2 increases, this cos phi 2 will decrease. Okay, and hence the torque will get decreased. And similarly, if phi 2 decreases, then cos phi 2 increases and torque also increases. So now we'll derive the starting torque in the case of three-phase induction motor. So the torque developed by the motor at the instant of starting is defined as a starting torque. So in some cases, this starting torque will be greater than the normal running torque, and in some other cases it might be lesser. Okay. So let E2 be the rotor EMF per phase at standstill condition, R2 be the rotor resistance per phase, and X2 be the rotor reactance per phase at standstill condition. Okay. So now the rotor impedance per phase at standstill is given by Z2 is equal to under root of R2 square plus X2 square. So now the current can be written as E2 by Z2 or E2 divided by under root of R2 square plus X2 square. And similarly from the impedance triangle. Okay, from the impedance triangle we can write cos phi 2 is equal to, so here cos phi 2, this is the adjacent side. So R2 divided by hypotenuse Z2. So R2 divided by Z2 is equal to R2 divided by under root of R2 square plus X2 square. Okay, so now we are going to substitute I2 and cos phi 2 in the starting torque equation. So at standstill torque or starting torque is given by TST is equal to K into E2 I2 cos phi 2. So now we are going to substitute I2 and cos phi 2 values. So TST is equal to K into E2 by under root of R2 square plus X2 square. This is I2 value. And similarly cos phi 2 can be written as R2 divided by under root of R2 square plus X2 square. So on simplification we get K into E2 square into R2 divided by R2 square plus X2 square. So now if the supply voltage V is considered as a constant, then the flux phi as well as the rotor EMF E2, okay, both are constants. So starting torque can be written as K1. So here K into E2 square can be considered as a constant. So that is written as K1 into R2 divided by R2 square plus X2 square. So that is equal to K1 into R2 divided by Z2 square, where K1 is a constant, already we have discussed. So this constant K is given by 3 divided by 2 pi into Ns. So this we will derive in the later sections. So now the starting torque is written as 3 by 2 pi Ns into E2 square R2 divided by R2 square plus X2 square. Okay, Ns is the synchronous speed in RPS, revolutions per second. Okay. So now we'll derive the condition for maximum starting torque in the case of a three-phase induction motor. Okay. So already we know the starting torque is given by K into R2 divided by R2 square plus X2 square. Okay. So now the condition for the maximum torque is dTST divided by dR2 will be equal to 0. Okay, we are going to differentiate this starting torque with respect to R2 and we have to equate it to 0 to obtain the condition for starting torque. So now this is in the form U by V. Okay, so if y is equal to U by V, then differentiation of y with respect to x, dy by dx is given by V du by dx minus U dv by dx whole divided by V square. Okay, so in this case U is R2 and V is R2 square plus X2 square. Okay, so in the denominator we have V square, so R2 square plus X2 square whole square. Okay, in the numerator we have V into du by dx first term. So V is R2 square plus X2 square, first term is R2. So differentiating R2 with respect to R2 will give you 1 minus U into dv by dx. So here U is R2, so R2. So now differentiating this term, so this is V. So differentiating this term we will get 2R2, this term will be 0. So this is 2R2, that will be equal to 0. Okay, here we have R2 square plus X2 square minus 2 into R2 square. So this is numerator. So on simplification we will get R2 square plus X2 square minus 2R2 square will be equal to 0, or R2 square is equal to X2 square, or simply R2 is equal to X2. So this is a condition for maximum starting torque. Okay, so the maximum starting torque will be obtained only when the rotor resistance will be equal to the rotor reactance at standstill condition. Okay, this is a rotor reactance per phase under standstill condition. So now we'll see the effect of change in supply voltage on starting torque. So starting torque, as we all know, is given by 3 by 2 pi ns into E2 square R2 divided by R2 square plus X2 square. Okay, so this starting torque is proportional to E2 square, but E2 is proportional to the supply voltage. Okay, so under standstill condition E2 is proportional to V. So the starting torque is proportional to V square. Okay, so the starting torque is very sensitive to the supply voltage. As the supply voltage varies, the starting torque also varies. Say for example, a 5% change in the supply voltage will produce approximately 10% change in the rotor torque. So why? Because starting torque is proportional to square of the supply voltage.